I'm not Oliver Babish, but I am a big fan of his show. I can't make food at all, but I do make candles for a living, and today I'm going to show you how to cook a candle. We're going to be cooking my famous blueberry cobbler scented candle. I have more professional equipment than this, but this is for anyone to make a candle. You need 2 pots, one filled with water, and then you're going to put the other pot inside of it to make a double boiler. You're going to let those pots get to know each other a little bit. Then we're going to get wax. I prefer soy wax as opposed to paraffin or beeswax. So we get our soy wax together and we dump it in when the water starts to boil. While that wax is aggressively melting, we're going to focus on the jar. I first have to put a wick into the wick gun and then center it and then put the wick in the jar just like that. Next, we're going to take a wick bar. You could also use a popsicle stick, but I'm a professional, so I use a wick bar and center it like that. Our wax is now at 180 degrees, so I'll take the thermometer out and I'll give you a look at what that looks like. That's some nice wax right there. Now it's time to add the scent and the dye to our pure wax. So first, I said this was going to be a blueberry scented candle, so we're going to take our blueberries and we're going to mash them up with a hammer. I'm just kidding, we don't do that. We actually just use chemicals. So there's my blueberry fragrance, which you measure as much as you want and pour in. And then we take our blueberry dye. And I like to use about 5 drops to get a nice thick blueberry color. Dry wax and wet wax are never the same color, so we have to check to make sure that we have a nice blue. And so what we're going to do is we're going to plop a little bit on that white board. It looks great. Next comes the pour, and this you have to be very careful about. So we slowly pour our wax into the jar and then set aside for 2 days. Great, 2 days is over. It's now time to take the wick bars off of the wicks. You can use a box cutter, but it will sometimes stick you in the fingers. So I prefer a professional wick cutter to do the job. And then we're going to find nice 2 lids and put those on as well. So now every great candle needs a great label. I usually put the label called Blueberry Bromance on this particular candle, but because this is a special edition and the only one I'm ever going to make, this is called a Binging with Babish Blueberry Bromance in honor of his great show. On Oliver Babish's show, when he makes food, he always does a cross section, and so I wanted to show you a cross section of the candle. Now to do that, you hammer it, break the glass, and then that didn't work the way I wanted it to. So there's a be careful, and there is a cross section of the candle. I had a lot of fun showing you all how to make a candle and following the format of the most successful online chef, Oliver Babish. I hope you don't mind. Here's to you, Babish. Keep cooking because I can.